I want to talk for a minute about a couple people who are just absolutely flying off the handle, who are our subs, because they say Greg Jackson is a hypocrite because his book is still out there on Kindle, and they think he's making money on it, and they're like, well, how can you teach against these things and still sell your book? And this just, in every case where people are like all upset and accusing us of something, it's always because they don't understand something. It's always because of a lack of knowledge. And in this case, it's a lack of knowledge about publishing and a lack of knowledge about what a writer has the ability to control if they are not self-published. Now, I'm self-published, meaning I write a book and I put it up on my Amazon or on my website. Put it up on my website, and if I don't like something about it, assuming I can find the time, I'll change it and just re-push the button, and then it goes back up. And even that's hard. I've got a whole bunch of things that I need to edit in each of my books grammatically, and I just don't have the time. And I tried to get an editor. Well, I've had people volunteer who said they were going to edit, and either they just fall off and don't do anything, or when they're trying to make things make more sense to them, they end up changing the theological perspective. So I've never used an editor. I don't trust anybody. But Greg Jackson in 2014 wrote this book, and he did do an edit. Now, an edit, when you're not self-published, means that you have to release a new version, and you have to convince the editor/publisher to do it. And they've invested their money in making your book. They're the ones who control what endorsements you get and how it finally looks and all that stuff. And they often don't understand the theological point you're trying to make, obviously. And when Greg did his edit in 2000, apparently the version that this guy found on Amazon is from 2019. I got on YouTube in 2019. It was in that year that Greg discovered my channel. Now, before that, he was teaching quite differently. And really, yeah, we'll just put it that way. And no offense, Greg, but even some of the things that I taught back then, I've tried to curate my videos to take them out. Because we grow in the knowledge of the truth. But this guy's all upset because he thinks Greg Jackson's making money off of his Amazon sales. And I'm telling you that Kindle, you don't make any money off of Kindle. Just like Spotify, there's people who write hit tracks and they get millions and millions of streams. They see about $1. I know somebody who got 1 million streams and saw about $1 from Spotify. The digital media service has absolutely destroyed the ability to actually make a living doing this. The only way you can make a living doing books is if you're a public speaker and you can go out and do speaking engagements and get and now you're not really selling the book, you're selling tickets to your speaking engagement. The books are just a way to advertise who you are, and then you become this brand, and that's a whole different deal than just, I'm going to try to write a book and get people to read it. And, you're not going to make any money off that. The shipping costs up for books is the printing costs. You just get eaten up. And then especially if you've got an editor taking a cut and a publisher taking a cut, they got salaries and all that. You're left with almost nothing. And then on Amazon, you just don't see anything from Amazon. Go out and read all the woes of people who've tried to publish on Amazon, and all the complaints that, look, I can't quit my job. If Greg was writing books and making money from it, he would be promoting the book, which he doesn't, and he wouldn't be working 60 hours a week at a pharmaceutical sales job. Every time I talk to him, I know he's working all the time. So it's just ridiculous. But what's even, okay, so what's also ridiculous is making all these accusations and calling him a hypocrite just because you don't understand what it takes to edit or publish a book. And if you want to push a change, that's not that easy. Once it's out there, they have to spend money to make the change. You know, you want them to do a new run of books, that means that they produce another edition. So it's a second edition, third edition. That's why you'll see many different editions of a book. It's because they're finding errors and going back and going, hey man, that's got to change. And then they got to convince the publisher and the editor to spend money to do it. And no, Greg can't just say, well, I don't want to sell it anymore. That's not the way that works. He doesn't have the ability to just delete it off YouTube, delete it off Amazon's site, because it's not under his account. I have a jazz piano album I made that I really don't like. I'm embarrassed of the playing on it, honestly. And it's on Spotify and it's on CD Baby and YouTube Music. It's on all over the place, and there's no way I can retract it. So again, people are flying off the handle because they're calling him a hypocrite because he teaches against these things now, but he believed something else in 2014, and there's evidence still that exists with his name on it that shows that's what he believed. And it comes down to they just don't understand the process. They're all upset out of ignorance. And that, if I have a weakness, it's when I see people get all bent out of shape because they don't know something really simple. I need to work on that, but I'm ready to call people idiots, you know. But that's not really the case, because who knows? If you haven't published, you wouldn't know, you know. I thought he did a good job. He did need to clarify because of the accusations that are being made. But did he go into all the nuances of what it takes to publish? No, but I know, because I've been involved. But what really gets under my skin is that the people who are saying this stuff wouldn't know what Galatian error was 7 months ago. And the way they learned it is from the person that they're accusing. They've received help. Okay, they've given nothing back, I'm sure. And now they're accusing and all mad, bent out of shape about something that they wouldn't even known about if they hadn't heard it from him. And they're calling him a hypocrite. And to me, I'm like, who's the hypocrite? And even our enemies who don't believe anything about what we teach are trying to use our vocabulary to accuse us of secretly teaching what we don't teach in order to refute our credibility about the thing we actually do teach. So it's so messed up and turned upside down that they're actually trying to attack our teaching by convincing you that we teach other than what we teach, while telling you that what we teach is not legitimate. What is that? But if you've been listening to us and you've received help, you do need to understand, because it just grieves me when I see people fly off the handle who are getting help, you know, and I've seen them grow, and now they're flying off the handle because of the accusation of people. Why are you listening to these people? You know, you're now standing with people that are attacking the doctrine of Christ, and you're actually part of it. And you think this is all just drama. You know, the guy's like, I'm just about done with YouTube and getting off all this drama. What are you going to go to? Go back to the institutional church? You are getting fed, and I know it. And yet, you're going to bite the hand, you know. It's just, it's irritating. And I'm sorry this is not a super eloquent message, but you guys do need to know that Greg cannot easily change that. Once it's out there, he can make minor adjustments, but he does not have control over the process once the editor and the publisher take it over. All right.